This is lecture 46. So as already we have started the network synthesis, and there we have seen how can we test the Hurwitz polynomial. What is the use of Hurwitz polynomial? It is used for the realizability test. Then next we have seen one function, that special function called the positive real function. And what is that positive real function? That we have to check it out. And if the function is positive real, then also the synthesis can be done with it. Okay, so in order to have the network synthesis, I have to check whether the function is positive real or not. Okay, so for that we have seen some of the properties, fine. And then also we have seen that how can we test the positive real function. I mean, what are the necessary and sufficient conditions for the function to say that it is really positive and real, whether it is really positive real function or not. So first test was, first test that if I have a polynomial p of s, so the polynomial, this p of s is said to be PRF if and only if p of s must have no poles on right hand side of S plane. Then how to check it out that? So for that I will use the Hurwitz polynomial. If the denominator of p of s, if it is Hurwitz polynomial, then there will be definitely no poles will lie on the right hand side of S plane. The next is that the function f of s, this is f of s I will say. The next the function f of s is said to be PRF if it will have the simple poles on j omega axis with the residue real and positive. Okay, this has to be second thing, and this can be checked by finding out the residue for the simple pole, which has to be real and imaginary, that is 2k0 s upon s square plus omega 1 square, that way we seen, and k0 has to be real and positive. Then third thing, or third testing, we said that it should be the real part of f of j omega has to be greater than or equal to 0, and this will be for all omega. This is the third testing. Okay, and this third testing, how can we check it out? We have seen that the polynomial can be converted into real part, odd part, and then we have cancelled out the thing, and we have converted into real part and imaginary part in terms of j omega, and then we achieved that in order to have the real part of f of j omega is equal to 0. So what is the real part? It is m1 m2 minus n1 n2 divided by, it was m2 square minus n2 square, it was the case. This is the even part of the polynomial, and here obviously m2 square minus n2 square will always be greater than 0. Now what it remains to check it out, this condition, that is m1 m2 minus n1 and n2, this has to be greater than 0 or not, and this has to be evaluated at s is equal to j omega, and we can say that if we multiply m1 and m2, we will get into the power into some constant form or s square, and that s square, if I will replace it, I will simply get it omega square. Okay, so what does it mean? This polynomial I will get it in terms of a of omega square, which will be m1 m2 minus n1 n2 because of the even nature. Okay, and this I will evaluate at s is equal to minus omega square. Okay, and if a of omega square will be greater than or equal to 0 for all omega, then third test, that is real part of f of j omega, will be successful. Okay, so with this let us take it some numerical examples. So first example is, suppose my function f of s is s plus a divided by s square plus bs plus c. So the question is this is f of s PR? If yes, then what is the condition that it is PR? Okay, so obviously this is PR. First is, yeah, there is a difference of unity. Okay, this is obviously Hurwitz polynomial. Okay, because all the coefficients will be positive. Okay, first two tests are now important here. The third test is very important here. So for example, that can be checked it out by putting b is equal to 0, what is the condition, and b is not equal to 0, what is the condition. Okay, so if I substitute b is equal to 0 here, so what will be my f of s? F of s will be s plus a over s square plus c. Okay, let me write s plus a over s square plus c. Now this I will to check it out whether real part of this is greater than or equal to 0 or not. So let us separate this. So this can be separated out as s over s square plus c plus a over s square plus c. Okay, now let me evaluate this f of s at s is equal to j omega. So if this is the case, then what it will be j omega upon c minus omega square plus a upon minus omega square plus c. Okay, and now test the real part of f of j omega. So what will be the real part of f of j omega? So here I am saying that this is my real part of f of j omega, which is a upon c minus omega square. Okay, so this is my real part of f of j omega, and now the question I should ask, whether is it greater than or equal to 0 for all omega or not. So let's see this part. So when I am saying omega is less than c, then the real part of f of j omega is greater than or equal to is greater than 0, right? Yeah, but what will happen when omega is greater than c? Okay, so when omega means, I will say omega square is greater than c, then what will happen? Real part of f of j omega, this will not satisfy. This is not correct. Okay, so this is not correct. So this real part of f of j omega will not be PR. It will not satisfy the third property. Okay, so in order to have the PR, what should be the condition? A again has to be 0. So if A is 0, then okay, real part of f of j omega is 0, and that is allowed for us. Okay, so this way you can check it out for the PRF if B is equal to 0. Now suppose B is not equal to 0, then what is to be done? If this is the case, then polynomial can be written as s plus a divided by s square plus bs plus c. Okay, and here numerator is first order and denominator is your quadratic equation. Now let us check for the third condition, and for the third condition, what is that? We have to, this is also third condition only, but let us check it now. The thing which we have been computed, the polynomial is m1 m2 minus n1 n2, which was a of omega square, and this is to be evaluated at s square is equal to minus omega square, or I can say ax will be m1 m2 minus n1 n2 at s square is equal to minus x, which we have derived already. I'll substitute omega square is equal to x. So from that, calculate what is m1. That is, m1 is even polynomial of this. So what is even polynomial of from numerator, which is a, odd polynomial. m1 is a, n1 is m1 is a, n1 is s. What about from denominator? m2 will be s square plus c, and n2, that is odd, will be bs. Okay, now let me evaluate a of x, which will be m1 into m2. So a into m2 is s square plus c minus n1 into n2. So n1 is s, n2 is bs, so which is a into s square plus c minus b into s square, and then this s square I will put it as, I will evaluate at minus x. So if this is the thing, then your a of x will be what will be a of x? It will be a into c minus x, and this is minus and minus b into minus x, so which will be b into plus x. Okay, so now I can combine this minus ax plus bx, so it will be b minus a into x plus a into c. Okay, fine. Then next, this is my a of x. Now a of x has to be greater than or equal to 0 for all x. Okay, so this will be greater than or equal to 0 when your b is greater than a, then b is greater than or equal to a, then a of x will be greater than or equal to 0 for all x. Okay, so basically this is the condition for the function said to be PR when the numerator consists of the first order polynomial and second denominator consists of second order polynomial. Okay, So b has to be greater than a for the PRF. So for example, if I am taking f of s, let's test it whether it is PRF or not. So it is s plus 2, then s square plus 4s plus 2. Okay, this is the case. What is b here? B is 4 and this is A, so B is greater than or equal to A. Yes, so it is 4 is greater than or equal to A, that's why it is PR. Okay, this is A basically, and this is B, and this is my C. Okay, then second example, if my f of s is s plus 2 s square plus s plus 2. So here what is B? B is 2. Sorry, this is A, this is not B. This is A and B is 1. So B is not greater than A, that's why it is not PR. It is no PR. Okay. Third is if Fs is s plus 1 divided by s square plus 2. So in this case, what is to be done? B is greater than A. So A is 1, B is equal to 0. So 0 is not greater than A. That's why this is also not PR. Okay, this is no PR. So this way you can check it out directly whether this is PR or not. When numerator is first order and the second denominator is quadratic. Okay. Then next, what if I'll take it the biquadratic, that is the f of s, if it is the s square plus a1s plus a0 and denominator is say s square plus b1s plus b0, then is this function PR, and if PR under what condition? So first condition is that assume a1 a0 b1 b0 all are real and non-negative. Okay, means it is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so let us test the third property directly as it is the general form. So let me test the third property, that is a of x, which will be m1 m2 minus n1 n2. This has to be greater than 0 for x and it has to be evaluated at x square equal to minus x. Okay, so from that calculate what is my, from that find out what is m1 and m2. So from polynomial, m1 will be a square plus a0, which is even, n1 will be odd, which is a1s, m2 will be a square plus b0. Okay, and n2 will be b1s. Okay, and then let us calculate m1 m2 and n1 n2. So m1 m2 is a square plus a0 into a square plus b0. So now I will directly substitute s square is equal to minus x. So your a of x will be a0 minus x and b0 minus x, and this will be minus a1 b1 s square, means it will be plus a1 b1 x. Okay, now test for a of x which is greater than or equal to 0 or not. Okay, so to test it, let us solve first. So your a of x will be now a0 b0 minus a0x minus b0x plus x square plus a1 b1x, and this also can be written as x square plus a0 b0 plus x a1 b1 minus a0 b0. Okay, now what can be done? You take it the square of it, convert it into the square form. I'm sorry. So convert it into the square form this. So this will can be converted as x minus square root of a naught b naught its square. Okay, plus x. This will be a1 b1 and has to be added with, no, this you cannot directly write. So first this factor minus 2 root a0 b0 has to be added. Okay, so it will be first say square root 2, no, not square root 2, but it will be 2 root a0 b0, because I have to add and subtract 2 root a0 b0, so it will be 2 root a0 b0 x, then I will write x a1 b1 minus a0 b0. Okay. And then let me take it this inside this form, so it will become a1 b1, and this will be again square root. Okay. So it is square root of a0 and square root of b0. That way you can separate out. Okay, so this will be x minus square root of a naught b naught its square plus x, this I will come here, so it will be a1 b1 minus, what it will happen, it will be square root of a naught minus square root of b naught square. Okay, so if I'll do this, then what will be, this will be a0 then plus b0, and this is minus 2 root a0 b0, and this will be outside of this is minus, so it will be plus 2 root a0 b0, and this will be minus a0 b0. Okay, so now in order to have the PR, let us check it out when this a of x will be greater than or equal to 0. So this is square, so it is always greater than 0. Okay. This will be always greater than or equal to 0. Now the problem is here, this may be positive, this may be negative. Okay, so in order to have ax is always greater than or equal to 0, what should be the condition here? Condition here is that a1 b1 minus square root a naught minus square root b naught its square, this has to be greater than or equal to 0, and from that I can conclude that a1 b1 has to be greater than or equal to square root a naught minus square root b naught its square. Okay, so this is the condition for PR. Okay, so based on it, let us take it example. So suppose my example f of s is, okay, first generalize it, first summarize it. So if f of s is quadratic in numerator and quadratic in denominator, then what is to be done? So s square plus a1s plus a0 s square plus b1s plus b0. Okay, so what is first condition? First condition is that a1 a0 b1 b0 all will be greater than or equal to 0 and real. This is basically non-negative and real. Second is a1 b1 should be greater than or equal to root a naught minus root b naught its square. Okay, so now based on this note, if suppose f of s I have, so which will be s square plus 2s plus 25 over s square plus 5s plus 16. So this is a1, this is a0, this is b1, and this is b naught. Okay, so from here a1 b1 is greater than or equal to root a naught minus root b naught its square. So what is a1 b1? It will be it will be 2 into 5, which is 10, is greater than or equal to root a naught. So what is it? 5 minus root b naught is 4, is greater than or equal to 0. So 10 is greater than 1. No, this is not satisfied. Yeah, this satisfied. Sorry, I'm sorry. The 10 is greater than or equal to 1. Satisfied. That's why it is PR. Okay. Then next, if f of s is 3s square plus 5 over s into s square plus 1. So what about this? Is PR or not? So this is s cube plus s. Okay. So if you find out the same, that is m1 m2 and n1 n2. So what is m1 is 3s square plus 5, n1 is 0. m1 is, sorry, not m1 is 3s square plus 5, n1 is 0. What is m2? m2 is 0 and n2 is s cube plus s. So what is m1 m2? This is 0, n1 n2 this is 0. So a of x is 0. Okay, as it is a odd rational function. Okay, so this is satisfied, but still if I'll find out the roots or residues, because here the ratio of even and odd. So at that time you have to find out the ratios because there are the poles, simple poles. Okay, so k0 plus k1s over s square plus 1. K0 will be at s, so it will be 5. Okay, this is basically s. So k0 will be 5. And what about k1? K1, if I would like to find out, you do that f of s divided by s at s square is equal to -1, so it will be -1, so it is coming -2 here. Okay. Okay, so basically residue is not positive here, that's why this f of s is not PR. Okay, then what next if my total f of s is like this, which is f1 of s into f2 of s divided by f1 of s plus f2 of s, whether it is PR or not. Okay, so basically this is what z1 z2 divided by z1 plus z2. I mean, two impedances, if they are in parallel, that form also you can write. So what is it if f1 is, so assume that f1 is PR and f2 is also PR. Okay, so if f1 is PR and f2 is also PR, then what about this, whether it is PR or not? So this can be simply done by inverting, so it will be f1 divided by f1 into f2 plus f2 divided by f1 into f2. Okay, which will be here 1 over f2 plus 1 over f1, and we know if f1 is PR, 1 by f1 is PR, similarly 1 by f2 is also PR, and if this is PR, 1 by PR, this is also PR. So this way you can check it out, the PR property for this kind of function. Okay, so for this, for example, f of s is say k upon s plus alpha, so that also you can write as 1 over s by k plus alpha by k. So this is PR, and obviously this is also PR. Okay, so total function will be PR. Second, if f of s is ks upon s plus alpha, so this also you can write as s over k over s and alpha upon k upon s, and this 1 over k, this is PR, this is also PR. Okay, alpha over k by s, this is also PR, so total overall is also PR. Then next, if f of s, this basically R and C are in parallel, or R and C or R and L is parallel, then this kind of combination as an impedance we will get. Okay, so next, if s plus alpha divided by s plus beta, so this also you can check s upon s plus beta and plus alpha upon s plus beta. Right now we said that this is PR, this is also PR, so overall s plus alpha divided by s plus beta will also be PR. Okay, so this way now we are very much confident with these two kind of things. One is Hurwitz polynomial, we can easily find it out whether that polynomial is Hurwitz or not, to decide whether your network is stable or not. And second, also we are confident to check it out whether given function is PR or not. Okay, now next we will see the synthesis procedure, which will be elementary synthesis procedure. Okay, so for this here what we have to do, basically when we are doing the synthesis, then we have to consider the driving point impedance, that is Z of s, or driving point admittance, which is Y of s. So basic philosophy for the synthesis, driving point immittance or driving point function has to, I will call this a driving point immittance. So basic philosophy for the synthesis is that you break up this Z of s into sum of simpler PR functions. So I mean, if you have a Z of s, then what is the basic philosophy? You try to break up your whole Z of s into number of components, which will be Z1, Z2, Z3, Z4, etc., which will be simple, and that will be PR. Okay, and if Z1, Z2, Z3, Z4 will be PR because of ZS as PR, then you can synthesize Z1, Z2, Z3, Z4 individually. Okay, because the elements of then ultimately what will happen, the elements of overall network where DPI, that is driving point impedance, is Z of S, that you can break up in this way: Z1 of S plus Z2 of S plus Z3 of S, etc., plus Z4 of S, like this. Okay, and now this way you have broken up your Z of S into sum of individual impedances. Okay, and now this you can realize it very easily. So while doing this breakup, it is also important to note that there is a restriction on individual Z1, Z2, Z3, Z2, that all individual has to be PRF. Okay, that is all, this has to be positive real functions. So if all the individual functions will be given to us, then you can synthesize it simply by connecting it into cascading form. Okay, so this is Z1, Z2, etc. Okay, so that can be connected in series, and you can synthesize the thing, whatever the impedance, whatever the simple impedances you have broken it. But what up if, okay, if individual things are given, you can do it. But what if you have given the polynomial Z of S, which is somewhat complicated? Okay, then what you have to do, it is the polynomial, let's say 7th order or 8th order, then it is very difficult to realize it directly. So for that, from this Z of S, we have to convert it into number of individual ZI's of S. Okay, and this is basically what we have to do. We have to break up this Z of S into sum of ZI's, which will be positive real functions, and then you individually synthesize it. For example, what I mean to say, if I have Z of S, which will be the polynomial in numerator, say it is am s raised to m plus am minus 1 s raised to m minus 1, like this, plus a1m plus a0, not m, a1s plus a0. Similarly, in numerator bn s raised to n, okay, plus an minus 1 s raised to n minus 1, like this. You have b1s plus b0. So now you have to break it up. So in order to break it up, the question will come now, how to break it up into number of ZI's. Okay, so there, if you look at carefully, that is this impedance, which is PR, there has to be three cases. So there has to be three factors. One, it will be definitely there will be pole at origin. One case will be definitely pole at origin, means this will be at s is equal to 0. Second case will be definitely pole at infinity. Okay, so one pole will be at infinity, and third case will be there will be simple pole on j omega axis. Okay, so simple poles on j omega axis, which will be always in conjugate pair. Okay, so it means what, we are breaking up the j of s into number of ZI's, means what, we are removing the pole at origin, pole at infinity, and pole on j omega axis. So this is what basically we have to do. So ultimately what we can say, that if I am breaking up Z of S into number of ZI's, ultimately what I have to do, I have to remove the pole at origin, pole at infinity, and simple pole on j omega axis. Okay, so now let us see one by one. So suppose if I am removing the pole at origin, pole at s is equal to 0. Okay, so if this is the case, then what will be Z of S? Z of S will be am s raised to m plus am minus 1 s raised to m minus 1, like this, plus a1 of s plus a0 divided by bn s raised to n plus bn minus 1 s raised to n minus 1 till b1s plus b0, and this will be polynomial in numerator and the polynomial in denominator, which is q of s. Okay, so this, if I am removing pole at s is equal to 0, so how will be the situation? Situation will be am s raised to m plus a0 for example, and this will be s, and say bn s raised to n plus b1. Okay, fine. So here b0 will be basically 0. Okay. So if b0 is equal to 0 here, so ultimately there will be one pole at origin, and this I have to remove it out. So if I have to remove it out, means what? I have to make it like this: k0 into s plus z1 of s. So means what? I have removed one pole, not s, but pole at origin. So it will be k0 by s plus remaining function, which will be z1 of s. Okay. So now next, what is to calculate k0? K0s I am giving as an the pole at origin, it indicates. Okay. So now I have to calculate its residue. And how can you calculate its residue as tends to 0? You have to take it the lower terms from numerator and lower terms from denominator, or you can simply multiply s with z of s at s is equal to 0. So if you do it, all will be 0 except a0 upon b1. Okay, so this will be k0 here. Okay, and this is positive and real. Okay, so it satisfies the PR property as z is itself PR. Okay, so now what is your total z of s? It will be now a0 into b1 into 1 over s plus z1 of s. So thus we have removed the pole at origin. Okay, now what next? Once we have done this, now I have to check it out whether this is whether z1 of s is PR or not, because I have removed the pole at origin, so I have to check it out whether z1 of s is PR or not. Okay, so is z1 of s PR? Yeah, that we have to check it out. So first question we will ask that, as z of s, this total z of s doesn't have a pole on the right half plane, so obviously z1 of s has no poles on right hand plane. Okay, has no pole on RHP, as z of s has no pole on right hand side of s plane, so ultimately z1 of s also no pole on right half plane. Second is also we know that z of s was PR. Okay, and if it is a thing, then z of s might have simple poles on imaginary axis, and residues will be real and positive. So there also z1 of s will also have the pole, which will be simple pole on j omega axis, and their residues will also be positive and real. Okay, so it means that z1 of s also have the simple poles on j omega axis, and their residues will also be positive and real. Now third thing is that you have to check it out, what about your real part of z1 of j omega, whether it is greater than or equal to 0 or not for all omega. So here how can we do it? Because as we know z dash is PR, so real part of z of j omega is greater than or equal to 0 for all omega. This is known to us. Okay, and then what we have done, we have removed pole at origin, which was z of s was a0 b1 into 1 over s plus z1 of s, and this what is removal? It is the removal of real part of 1 over j omega is 0, because this is imaginary part, there is no 0 part here, so this part is 0. So if this part is 0, then what will happen? Real part of a0 upon b1 is 0, means ultimately what will happen? Real part of z1 of j omega still satisfy the property, which will be greater than 0 for all omega. So this is always true when real part of 1 upon j omega is 0. So okay, so thus the z of s, whatever we have written into broken form, that is a0 upon b1 into 1 over s plus z1 of s. So this element can be synthesized as, if it is the impedance, it is a capacitor. Okay, 1 by cs. Okay, so how will it be? This synthesis will be, it looks like your capacitor, and this will be remaining thing, which again I have to decompose it, which is z1 of s, and what is the value? Value will be b1 over a0. Okay, and this is my z of s. Okay, and also assume that your z1 of s will also be PR. So this is what the removal of pole at origin. For example, if z of s, I'll take it as s square plus 2s plus 6 divided by s into s plus 3, which is s into s plus 3. So here observe that pole is at s is equal to 0, means what is the value of k0 upon s, that residue I have to calculate. So k0 will be 6 by 3, because lower power from numerator and lower power from denominator, so which is 6 by 3, which is 2. Okay, so you can write z of s as 2 by s plus z1 of s. And what is z1 of s? I want to know it. So z1 of s can be obtained as the removal of 2 by s from z of s. And what is z of s? It is s square plus 2s plus 6 over s square plus 3s minus 2 upon s. And if you solve, it will be this will be s, and this will be s plus 3. Okay, if you solve, you will get it s upon s plus 3. Okay, so with this, now your resultant z of s you can write as 2 by s plus z1 of s, obviously PR, if z of s is PR, and z1 of s I can write s upon s plus 3, and then it is the individual z1 and z2 that will be the sum of individual impedances, which are simple. So this also can be realized. Okay, which will be how? This will be 1 over s by s plus 3 by s, and which will be looks like 2 by s plus 1 over 1 plus 3 by s, which is admittance here. So how will be the realization? This is impedance and this is admittance. Okay, so this is impedance, means it will be 1 by 2 farad as a capacitor. Then admittance, so this will be constant conductance, so it is 1 ohm, and this will be 3 by 2 upon s, no, 3 by s. Okay, 3 by s. So this is basically inductor, and what is 1 over SL? So it is 1 by 3 Henry. This way you can realize the impedance. Okay, so thus we have removed the pole at origin, s is equal to 0, and this can be written as, now z of s will be equal to k0 upon s plus z1 of s. Okay, this is one factor. Now second factor is pole at infinity, so which is pole at s is equal to infinity. Okay, and this is possible when the order of numerator m will be greater than by 1 than the order of denominator. Okay, so at this point, say my z of s I can write as z of s I can write as am s raised to m plus like this, a1s plus a0 divided by bn s raised to n plus b0. Okay, and m will be greater than the degree of denominator by 1. Okay, so it means that there is a pole at s is equal to infinity. Okay, and this is basically I have to write it. So for that I have to find out the residue. So what is the pole at s tends to infinity? So for that you have to take it the final, the final, not final, but highest order of s from the numerator, that is am s raised to m, and highest, this is bn, highest coefficient from the highest power of denominator, s raised to m, and m is greater than by 1, so it will be am upon bn into s. Okay, so this is basically the remaining part. Because at s tends to infinity, what will happen? The highest power of numerator to highest power of denominator will come, and other terms will be vanishing. So now this z of s, z of s can be written as am over bn into s plus z2 of s, and now I have to check it out whether if I am removing the pole at s tends to infinity, so can I get it? The z2 of s is pr. So that is also answer is yes, because this is as it can be proved from the last what we have done, because if you remove the pole at infinity but still no pole will on the right hand side, then next what may happen, that the simple pole will be there with the positive real residues, positive and real residues, and third also real part of z2 of j omega will be greater than 0 for all omega, because here real part of this part is 0. Okay, so it is true for this also. And how to realize it? So this is impedance, so this is basically the inductance. So how can we write? This will be simple inductance with value am upon bn. Okay, and remaining part is like this, which is z2 of s, and that I have to again break up into the simple impedances, and then you realize it. Okay, so for example, if I have z of s like this, s square plus 3s, and this is s square plus 1, so here we can say there is a pole at infinity. Okay, so this is highest power of s divided by this, it will be s cube, I'm sorry, s cube. So highest power of s is s cube, highest power of s from denominator square, so what will be the remaining? It is simply s plus z2 of s. And what will be z2 of s? That z2 of s you can calculate by removing s from z of s. What is z of s? S cube plus 3s upon s square plus 1 minus s. So this will be s square plus 1 s cube plus 3s minus s cube minus s. So this will be 2s upon s square plus 1. Okay, so this is s plus 2s over s square plus 1. There is a difference of 1, and now we can realize it very easily this. So this will be s plus 1 over s square upon 2s plus 1 over 2s. Okay, and this is also you can write as s plus 1 over it will be 1 by 2 s plus 1 by 2 into s. Okay, and which will be what? This will be your inductor, and this is in shunt with this is basically capacitor. Okay, so what is the value? This is 1 by 2 is the value, and in shunt with 1 over 2s, so 1 over SL is L is 2 Henry. So this is basically a realization. Okay, so this is value is 1, this value is 1 by 2, and this value is 2 Henry. This is Farad, and this is also Henry. That way you can realize it. The next third case, what if there will be the simple poles on imaginary axis, that is plus minus j omega. Okay, so then we have to remove. This is called the removal of pole at infinity. Okay, next is the removal of pole on j omega axis. Okay, so here let us take it the z of s, which is suppose numerator of s, and there is a polynomial s square plus omega n square into some polynomial d1 of s. So this I have to remove it out. So how can we write is 2k0s upon s square plus omega 1 square, and this 2k0 let me write as k0 as a multiplier factor. Okay, plus remaining thing z3 of s. So obviously z3 of s is also pr, as z of s is pr, and here this is the real part of this is 0, that's why real part of z3 of j omega is greater than or equal to 0, and k0 must be real and positive. Okay, so if this is the case, then let me evaluate because real part is 0 here. Okay, k0 j omega upon 1 omega 1 square minus omega square, so still real part is 0, so that's why real part of Z3 of j omega will be greater than or equal to 0, and hence it is PR. Okay, so this k0 over s, now s square plus omega 1 square, I'll put it k2k0 is simple k0. Okay, so that how can we realize it? So that you do this way, s square over k0s plus omega 1 square over k0s. So what is the resultant here? S upon k0 plus omega 1 square upon k0 into 1 over s. So if I would like to realize it, this is basically admittance, and that is in shunt method. So how well can you do it? There will be one inductor, okay, and there will be one capacitor which will be connected like this, which will be in parallel form, and then next your Z3 of s will come. Okay, and this will be basically your Z of s. So what is the value of inductor here now? This is basically inductor. Okay, so what is the value? It will be k0 over omega 1 square, and what is the value of capacitor? It is cs, so it is 1 by k naught. Okay, so this is basically parallel resonance circuit. Okay. So this way you can remove the pole, simple pole on j omega axis. Also one factor is that removal of constant. Okay, so you will also remove the constant, and for that say if I am plotting the real part of z of j omega and something like this, I got it. Okay, so from that you find out the global minima somewhere here, and let me put it k naught here. So this real part of z of j omega I plot for all values of omega, and variation is like this. Then you select the minimum, which is say r naught. Okay, and this z of s also you can write as constant, which is r naught plus something z4 of s, and this is looks like your register. Okay, so this way you can remove the things and you can realize correspondingly. So we'll continue on the next class. We stop here. Thank you.